and welcome to this journey when I try to make a pleated skirt from these old trousers. I have had these for years, but they have always been a bit too tight for me, so I decided to use them for this project. Yeah, I need to fix the zipper as well, but let's see how this works. So this is basically my pattern. The back, I'm just gonna sew it closed, and the front left side is just going to be straight, and then on the right side I'm going to make some pleats from the pant leg, the lower part, to form these. Okay, so now I've cut these. I mean, I could stop here and then, I would have a pair of shorts. So these parts will create the pleats. The next thing I do, I will seam rip here and here, here, and also seam rip here. So while I was seam ripping, one of those threads got into my eyeball. And this is what it looks like now. All the crotch seam basically is seam ripped. Okay, so this is the part where I'm gonna make the pleat. So let's remove this. And now I need this measurement. I'm gonna call it the width. So in my case, that was 17.5 centimeters. This is the measurement I need. So I know how much fabric I need and how much one pleat is gonna take. So whatever the width is, multiplied by 3 plus seam allowance, and then you get the fabric you need. In my case, it was 52.5 centimeters plus 3 centimeters for the seam allowance. Then again, the same width, so 17.5 centimeters in my case. I divided it by 4 because I wanted to have 4 pleats in total. So the width of one pleat is gonna be 4.3 centimeters in my case. And that's how you do it to make this zigzag thing that forms the pleats. And here are still my cute little notes so I don't forget them. Then it was time to pin the fabric to mark where the pleats go. And like I said, in my case, the width of one pleat was 4.3 centimeters about. So I'm pinning, placing the pins 4.3 centimeters apart. And I'm gonna do this all the way along the fabric, and then I'm gonna show you how to form the pleats with the help of these pins. Of course. Luckily I found it. Okay, so how I do these pleats is that I have marked the places with the pins. They go all the way around. And okay, I realized that the black fabric is impossible to see what I'm doing. So I have this scrap piece of fabric to show how I actually make the pleats. So after I have pinned all the pins in place, and here I have already made one. So how I do this, because this can be a bit confusing sometimes, is so I always have like, you have pin number 1, 2 and 3, and then I have to match pin number 1 with pin number 3 like this on top of each other, and then the pin number 2 stays in the middle. Oops. Like in the fold. And then I just use the same pins to pin it in place. So again, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 together, pin in place. It's a bit wonky, it doesn't matter, just to show. Like this, and then they create this zigzag, and then after this I sew these in place, and then I can remove the pins. So this took longer than expected, but I have now pinned all the pleats in place. I took my sweet time to make sure, very hard to see, but I took my sweet time to make sure that they are all straight. seam all pinned, and I draw a chalk mark to make sure I will sew straight. And then all of this will be snipped off. Okay, so the center back is sewn. Okay, trust me, it's sewn. Okay, and then the side seam, I sewed it on. This is attached, that is fine. I still have the pleats. I have these pins, so the pleats like actually stay in place. And while I was pinning the pleat part back to the waistband where I seam ripped the original part off, like everything was going fine. Here's my pins, but then here's the center seam, and this is where I ran into some difficulties. I don't know what to do, because like this side I have to make straight anyway, but then this side I have excess fabric here on purpose. So I don't know if I should make it straight, like cut here and then sew, or make it kind of flare out a bit, so go from here a bit like in an angle. So I don't know what to do. I think I will pin it in place, see how it fits, and then I will actually like pin it in place, sew it, try it on, and only then I will cut off the excess fabric. So here's the thing, after these shots I just began procrastinating with this work. Then Christmas happened and I wasn't just really feeling continuing with this. I just felt it wasn't shaping out to be what I had envisioned it to be. So I didn't film any of the things where I'm actually sewing it in place and realizing that it kind of works, and cutting and also serging, overlocking all the raw ends inside, and you know, all that jazz. So without much further ado, I will just, final reveal. Here is how it turned out. Ta-da! If I am to rate myself, I would give myself a 7 out of 10, because the idea was good, that having like a straight side and then this pleat side, so I think that's a plus. The fabric is nice, it like sits, doesn't like float around. The pleats work well with this fabric, I think. It's just, I don't know, it's something a bit weird. I don't know, maybe it's the, I think the issue is the front here. Like it's just like there's something a bit off here. I don't know. But then I ironed it and it's smooth. The pleats like sit nicely. It's alright actually. I might actually wear this. All in all, an okay project. And the plus is I didn't even have to fix the zipper. I don't know what happened, but when I started like trying this on, the zipper was working, so magic, I suppose. The lesson to be learned from this is that sometimes good enough is all you need. Like it works, it's more or less what I want it to be, and I think I'm just gonna have to wear it and sort of make it my own. We'll see. And now I'm off to make something else. Next on my project list, I want to make some trousers. I have 2 different dresses that I want to make. I have to shorten a top and also a jacket, and so many things, not enough time. Anyway, bye, thank you, see ya.